Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather and today we're going to be starting a new reading vlog where I use these cards from Pippi Post. It's the Reader Roulette cards. I've seen them on Instagram a lot and I figured support a small business and we're going to use these to pick out my next reads from the library. I've briefly looked through these cards. There's all kinds in here, but I'm going to pick 4 cards to read for this specific reading vlog, and then we're going to go to the library and we're going to pick out some books based on like the prompts that are on these cards. So I'm not a very good shuffler, but again, I haven't really looked through these, so we're gonna just do this. Okay, so the first one that we're gonna pick, what does it say? Oh, you can't really see it. There we go. Read the first book that is on your TBR list. Well, I don't know what the first book on my TBR list is going to be from the library, so I guess I will use this card. They have a new book section all the time, so I'll look on the new book section and pick a book that I want to read from that section. We'll do that. All right, the next one. Read a book published this year. Okay, I think I could do that. Next one. What's the next one gonna be? Read the shortest book on your TBR. Again, I'll just find a short book at the library and we'll read it. And last one, read a book based in a foreign country. Okay, cool. So those would be the 4 cards that I do for this particular video. And you're gonna come with me to the library. So I failed you and I went to the library, but I forgot to film me going to the library. So I'm just gonna show you the books that I ended up picking up for the specific cards that I drew. The first one is the shortest one. I've been seeing this one at the library for a while. It's Notes on Grief, and it is only 63 pages or 67 pages long. It is about this author's thoughts on 2020 and the lockdown and all of that. And I've heard that it's really impactful, and I also heard that it's written very, very well. So I am gonna read that for the shortest book on my TBR. The book that's been on my TBR the longest at the library, I'm gonna do The Tenant and Annie Bot. Annie Bot has been on my radar since last year. The Tenant has been on my radar since last year as well, I believe. And I want to do these also because they're pink. But I'm going to do a taste test, reading the first chapter of each, seeing which one catches my attention the most, and go on from there. So I'll be reading one of those for that card. The one that I picked up for being published this year is the Bewitching. And I've heard really, really good things about this. The librarians were actually talking to me about it, saying that they've heard really good things and that the audiobook is fabulous. So I will be getting the audiobook and listening to that. And then the one that's set in a different or foreign country, I have always wanted to read this. I just never have picked it up, but it's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And I know that it's set in Sweden. And it's also been translated too. This book is old. It's translated from Swedish by Reg Keeland. So yeah, that's the book that I'm going to be reading for foreign country. So these are the books that I have picked out. Let me get them in order right quick. Of course, they're not in order. These are the books that I have picked out for this particular video. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these, and we're gonna get into it. Filling you in, letting you know that I am picking Annie Bot out of these 2. I can already tell that I'm not gonna like this book whatsoever because the dude is an idiot, and I don't have time for him. So we're gonna read Annie Bot. I did get through like the first 2 chapters. No, Was it the first 2 chapters? No, that wasn't that one. I got through like half of the first chapter before my audiobook sample cut off. But I think I'm gonna really like the commentary, the social commentary in here about women in general, because this society, men are able to create women how they want them to be, and they are like robots, very person-y robots, like very realistic robots. And the first scene in here was a bit disturbing, but it caught my attention. I've heard really, really good things about this, so I am going to continue on with this one and take the tenant back to the library, because negative ghostwriter. Yep, not doing that to myself. So yeah, Annie Bot is the winner for the taste test. Pretty sure I just sat in water, but whatever, it'll be all right. It's been raining the past like 3 days in a row, and it's just now getting sunny outside, so I was like, why don't I just fill you in outside and then of course sit in water. But wanted to fill you and let you know that I'm halfway through Annie Bot. I am thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm enjoying all the social commentary in here, especially about how, okay, Annie is a robot, obviously, and she was specifically made for this man named Doug. And Doug was able to pick everything about Annie that he wanted. She's supposed to be completely, what's the word that I'm looking for? She's like his servant, his sex doll, does everything for him, all of those things. The misogyny in this book is thick. It's very, very, it's woven all in this story. And Annie has very deep feelings about Doug because she's made to have feelings about him. And just the way that he speaks to her, the way that he treats her, even though she is a robot, it is so prevalent to how people and women are treated today. And it makes me extremely mad because Annie is property. She is Doug's property. She has feelings, even though she's a robot. She has feelings. She is able to learn people's emotions. She's able to pick out and completely serve Doug basically everything on a freaking gold platter, you know. And when he doesn't like something, she learns from it and she tries not to ever do it again. She just tries to make him the happiest person ever. And she realizes as she gets smarter that her life isn't as sunshine and rainbows as it's supposed to be, and she learns that she can actually learn how to program, and she learns that Doug might not be the greatest person ever. And it's talking about trying to get out of an abusive relationship. It's talking about how women are objectified by men and just by society in general, about how they look, about how they dress, how people who are in abusive relationships sometimes don't see it until somebody else steps in and like tells them / shows them that their partner is abusive, and trying to get away from that, how dangerous it can be. So a lot of relevant things that are going on in the world that have been going on for forever that people are finally talking about are in this book. And even though, like I said, Annie is a robot, it is making me so mad. Doug is a horrible human. Horrible human. I cannot stand him, and I hope he gets exactly what he deserves in this. Robot or not, Annie is a much better person than I am, okay? Because, nah, much better person. But it's just really sad to see even a sentient object like Annie be treated the way that she is being treated, and how she can just be bought, you know, and be told how to act and be told how to dress and be told, even though she's not doing anything wrong, that she is worthless and everything like that. It's just very mentally, and physical abuse hasn't happened yet, but I can see it starting to happen, if that makes sense. So emotional, mental abuse are definitely happening right now. And yeah, it's talking about how misogyny can even ruin a robot. But it's talking about a lot. It's a very, very deep book. It's a very dense book. Chapters are pretty long, but overall I think it's an important book, and I think a lot of people could get something out of this. So there's that. And then I also started to read / listen to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And I don't know how I'm feeling about this so far. It is, obviously it was written by a man, and one of the main characters, it was written in 2008, and one of the main characters in here is, you know, Elizabeth. She's the girl with the dragon tattoo. And speaking of being objectified, she is working for a private investigator thing, like group, and she is one of the only women that works here, and she is objectified by her, you know, by people that she works with, and she is being asked to help with a mystery about someone, his sister was murdered, and it's still unsolved, and the people in the town that he lives in don't really think that they just think that she disappeared. Like, they don't think anything nefarious happened, but he wants Elizabeth and her boss to try to figure out the mystery behind it. And evidently Elizabeth is extremely intelligent. She does everything in her power to find out what happens in the cases that she is assigned to, and she basically does not stop until she solves it. So yeah, again, I don't know how I'm feeling about this, just because I don't personally care about all of the background of these people and just the overall descriptions of everybody else. Every single character in this book is getting some sort of background, which cool, like to learn about the characters, but it honestly took 120 pages just to get to the actual mystery of the story, because we learned about everybody else, and I personally don't care about that. And it's overwritten, in my opinion, just a little bit. And I don't like how all the women in this are considered stupid, and Elizabeth, oh, I didn't realize that she was that smart for a pretty girl, and you know, that kind of yeah, those kind of descriptions, they just piss me off. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this yet. I guess we'll see once the mystery actually starts, because it literally just started and it's chapter 10. So 150 pages in. We're just now getting to it. But my update for you, I should have just DNF'd this book while I was ahead. I'm giving this a 1.5, and the only reason I'm giving it a 1.5 is because the half star is for the investigation that happened, because I really enjoyed that part. I got sucked in, and then the ending just kind of lost me. This book was, oh my god, this book just went on and on and on and on, and it didn't stop. There was so much in here that probably should not have been in here, or that didn't need to be in here, because literally this much of the book is what sucked me in. The rest of it was just nothing but fluff and story. Like, we didn't even need all of it, you know, to get the story across what was going on. The investigation itself was really, really good, but the rest of it, meh, nah. I do not understand I don't understand why people love this book so much. I'm not really sure. I don't see the appeal. I'm not going to continue on. I feel like I wasted my time reading this. But anyways, there's that. Maybe I'll take that back. I'm going to read Notes on Grief. Next, I was able to get the audiobook for this. The audiobook's only like 45 minutes long, so it's not going to take me that long. So I'll probably finish it and then come back to you since it is so short. But this one is for the shortest book on my TBR. And this book is 68 pages. Yeah, 68 pages. So it's extremely short. And this is Notes on Grief during the pandemic. So it's probably going to be really, really sad. Heard great things about it. Has a really high rating. And yeah, we're going to read this. Hopefully this will take my mind off that horrid book. But yeah. This was such a beautiful little book. And it was so well written. The emotions that I felt while reading it and listening to it, because the author is the one who's narrating this book, it made me feel every single emotion. And it was just that raw emotion that you feel when someone passes away. And you're sad, you're mad, you don't know what to do, you're kind of lost as well. And she just goes through all of the emotions. She writes down everything that's going on in the days after her father passes away. And she is in the United States while he is still in Nigeria. And during the pandemic, nobody could travel. And she was so far away from her family during that time. So she felt really hopeless, and she felt despair, and she just couldn't be there with her family. They were Zoom calling and everything to, you know, keep in touch, but she just couldn't get to them. And it was so raw and, like I said, just emotional, and to the point where obviously I'm giving this 5 stars, but I'm gonna go buy my own copy so I can re-listen to it, and while I'm listening to it, annotate, because I have been through what she's been through. My father is still alive, but I have lost people that were really, really close to me, and this just brought back a lot of emotions, but so many beautiful lines in here that I want to go back and highlight and annotate and just write my little notes in, you know. So it's really, really good, really quick, but very powerful. It packs a huge punch. And I think that if you have been through loss and you're still grieving, because you never stop grieving obviously, but it's new and it's just that raw emotion that you have no idea what to do with, I think this would really help. And it would show you that you're not alone, and what you can do for people who are experiencing loss like this, and how to speak to them and what to say and what not to say. Because it really opens your eyes when you lose somebody really close to you and people are just like, they're in a much better place, they're doing all this, and you're like, what are you talking about? And you just want to like smack people, you know. But people mean well, but in these situations it's just, what do you say, you know? And she explains that and explains all of her emotions that she went through, and it was just really beautiful. And I highly recommend this if you were interested in this. But I am gonna go pick up my own little copy from the bookstore, and yeah, I'm gonna reread it, re-listen to it, because it was really good. And now I'm listening to my last book of this video, The Bewitching. I didn't get very far before it started pouring down rain and I couldn't hear anything in my car. All I know is this is about witchcraft, dark academia, 3 generations, slow, weird horror. Thumbs up, because I love me some slow, weird horror. So yeah, I'll fill you in when I'm halfway through. But hit the button. Where is it? I finished it, and I'm giving it 4.5. I wasn't sure about it at first because it does start out super slow, but y'all, when it gets there, it gets there, and I was all in it. I was like giddy reading, okay? I was reading so hard and paying attention so hard that people had to say my like actual birth name, which around here they don't. They call me mama or babe, you know? And yeah, it was really, really good. I really liked this. And I love how this author is able to blend present and past people together. I love how she story tells. I love all of her quotes that she puts in here. It was such a good book. Such a good book. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is because the beginning of it was quite slow for me and I almost did DNF it. But I'm so glad that I didn't, because it was so freaking good. So there are 3 women. It's a multi-generational book, and these 3 women are connected in some way. Marvena is at the college where a woman named Jenny went missing, and she is writing her thesis on it, or her dissertation, one of the 2. Can't remember which one. But she's writing a paper on it, and she needs to get, you know, all of the documents and everything like that. My arm is falling asleep. There we go. Not the best, but you know. So she is at this college and she's trying to learn about this woman that went missing. And in the middle of in the middle of her learning about this woman that went missing, she realizes that her great-grandmother's stories that she used to tell, Alba, and what is happening to her in present day are connected in some way. And you also get Alba's chapters, plus you get Betty's chapters, and then you get our main character's chapters. And just the way that this story and this world just kind of connects all at the end, and the storytelling throughout this book was done so well. The pace of this book reminds me of Mexican Gothic, and just like how slow rolling it was at first, but then everything just started happening and it just spiraled, and it was chaotic, but it was also really beautiful at the same time. And I really loved this. It was really, really good. Like, I don't know how to explain this to you without ruining things, because I'm really good at that. But just know we have witches, possible entities, something is haunting these women and they are trying to figure it out. It's about women of color breaking through oppression. It's about never giving up. It's about being loyal to people, and just so much love for women is written in this book, and I absolutely loved it. I also really like who our villain is. Thought it was done really well, and I was kind of expecting it, but the way that the villain was brought into the story, I was like, dang, that's so freaking good, you know? It was just really good. I liked it. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well to you, because I don't want to, like, if I talk about it, I'm gonna like just spew everything out. But yeah, if you haven't read this yet, I would read it. It's really, really good, especially if you're looking for a spooky book for this time of year. I would recommend this to you. Don't sleep on it. It's really good. The audiobook's really good too. So yeah, I'm glad that I found this at the library, and I might just buy me a copy. So hope you enjoyed this video. I know that it wasn't like the most fascinating video ever, but I'm going to put all my ratings here. I do think that this video was a success. I found some really good books. I read 2 4 stars, 1 5 star, and then obviously that other book was not very good. But yeah, I think that I read some really good books. I read some really powerful books by women that I love so much, and I'm so glad that I ended up reading it. I am just excited to see and read from these authors again. But yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I had fun. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start another video while I'm right here, because I gotta go to the library tomorrow. I guess we're gonna do reading roulette library style. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, leave me a comment down below what you thought of this video, if you've read any of these books, how you felt about them, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.